Once upon a time, in a land painted with fields of gold and rivers that sparkled like diamonds, lived a kind-hearted princess named Aria. Princess Aria wasn't like other princesses. Her favorite crown was woven from flowers, and her most treasured moments were spent wandering in the Enchanted Forest, where the ancient trees whispered secrets on the wind and the air smelled as sweet as honey. Her very best friend in the whole world was a tiny, magical unicorn. Luma was a little unicorn, small but incredibly brave. Her coat was as white as moonlight, her mane shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow, and her gentle blue eyes twinkled with mischief and kindness. The most special thing about her, though, was her golden horn, which would glow with a warm, comforting light whenever she used her magic. One morning, something felt wrong. A strange silence fell over the Enchanted Forest. The vibrant flowers, usually so cheerful, drooped and closed their petals. The babbling streams grew still and quiet, and the warm, golden sunlight faded into a dull grey haze. Luma nuzzled against the princess's hand, her little body trembling. "The magic is leaving," Luma Aria whispered, her heart filled with a sudden dread. The forest, her beautiful living home, felt like it was holding its breath. At that very same moment, in the neighboring kingdom of Silverhill, a young and adventurous prince named Orion noticed the same troubling change. The crystal-clear lake in his castle gardens had turned murky and dull, and the stars, which usually blanketed the night sky like scattered jewels, had vanished. Prince Orion was not one to sit and wait. He knew something had to be done. He saddled his trusty horse, grabbed his grandfather's silver shield, and rode with determination toward the heart of the mystery, the Enchanted Forest. It was there, in a clearing where the silence was deepest, that he saw her. A princess with hair the color of sunrise, standing beside a tiny unicorn that shimmered even in the dim light. "Who are you?" Aria asked, her voice gentle but firm, protective of her small friend. "I am Prince Orion of Silverhill," he replied, dismounting his horse. His voice was kind, and his green eyes were filled with concern. "Our magic is fading too. I've come seeking the flower of time. My grandfather's stories say it's the only thing that can bring the magic back to our lands." Aria's face lit up with a spark of hope. She looked at Luma, who nodded her tiny head in agreement. "Then let's find it together," said the princess, a new strength in her voice. And just like that, with a shared purpose and a flicker of newfound friendship, their great adventure began. Their first challenge appeared before them almost immediately, a wide, dark river that churned with murky shadows. The old stone bridge that once crossed it was now broken, its pieces lying scattered in the cold, deep water. It looked impossible to cross. "Oh no," Aria said softly, her shoulders slumping. "How will we ever get to the other side?" Prince Orion looked at the swirling currents, his brow furrowed with worry. But Luma, the little unicorn, trotted to the river's edge, her small form radiating a quiet confidence. "Yes, we can," she seemed to say, with a determined look. Her golden horn began to glow, casting a soft, warm light against the darkness. "If we all shine our light together," her voice echoed in their minds. A gentle, magical whisper, "The river will have to show us the safe path." Inspired, Orion lifted his polished silver shield. He angled it perfectly to catch the light from Luma's horn, reflecting it into a bright, focused beam that cut across the water. And then something amazing happened. Where the combined light touched the river, a path of glowing, stepping stones appeared, shimmering just beneath the surface. It was a bridge made of pure light. Holding hands with Luma leading the way, they took a deep breath. Step by careful step, they crossed the river of shadows, their combined courage lighting their way until they stood safely on the other side. Their journey was far from over. Next, their path led them to the foot of a tall, imposing mountain. This was the Windy Mountain, and it lived up to its name. Fierce, swirling winds howled around its peaks, creating a powerful storm that roared so loudly they could barely hear each other speak. The wind tugged at their clothes and pushed against them with incredible force. "I'm scared," Aria shouted over the gale, her voice barely a whisper against the storm's fury. Prince Orion, seeing the fear in her eyes, moved closer and took her hand. His grip was firm and reassuring. "Hold on to me," he said, his voice steady. "We'll face this storm together. We'll climb it together." His bravery gave her strength. Luma, ever the courageous guide, went ahead of them. Her horn glowed brighter than ever, and as she moved, the wind around them seemed to calm, just a little. She was using her magic not to fight the storm, but to soothe it. With every step they took upward, clinging to one another, the wind grew softer. The deafening roar lessened to a whistle, then a hum, until at last, breathless and tired, they stood at the mountain's very peak. The storm was below them now, and all was peaceful. And there it was. At the top of the mountain, in a small patch of earth, sat a single wilted flower. Its petals were grey and drooping, lifeless and sad. "The flower of time," Aria whispered, her heart aching to see it in such a state. "It's not gone," Luma said gently, her voice clear in the calm air. "It's just sleeping. It needs warmth and love to wake up again." Without a word, Princess Aria and Prince Orion joined their free hands, their fingers lacing together naturally. Luma stepped forward and gently touched her glowing golden horn to the base of the flower's stem. A pulse of warm light flowed from her horn into the plant. Looking at each other, the princess and the prince spoke together, their voices united. "For our kingdoms, for our friends, and for the light." As they spoke, a miracle unfolded. The flower began to shine. A soft glow started at its roots and traveled up the stem into the petals. Gold, pink, and silver light swirled from its center, spiraling up into the sky and spreading out across the land. The magic was returning. The light washed over the world, chasing the grey away. Down below, the rivers began to sing their joyful song again. the flowers in the forest opened up to the sky. And in the kingdom of Silverhill, the stars began to twinkle one by one, brighter than ever before. Standing on the mountain peak, bathed in the beautiful, magical light, Princess Aria turned to the prince and smiled, her eyes shining. "Thank you, Orion. I'm so glad we met." "So am I," he said, his smile just as warm. "We make a great team, Luma." The little unicorn nuzzled them both, her rainbow mane sparkling. "And the forest agrees," she chirped happily in their minds. The three heroes rode home together under a sky filled with brilliant new stars, their hearts full and happy. They had faced darkness, fear, and doubt, but together they had brought the light back. And that night, as everyone in both kingdoms drifted off to sleep, safe and sound, Luma, the little unicorn, looked up at the glittering constellations from her place beside Princess Aria and whispered to the moon, "Love and courage, when they work together, can make any flower bloom." Thank you so much for joining us on this magical adventure. If you'd like to see more enchanting tales, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We can't wait to share another story with you soon.